in all honesty, if she were to just lose the title and then just think, I want real competition, I'm going to the main roster, and that doesn't even, think about the rematch, I would honestly be okay with that because it's Asuka and she's a badass and she's Asuka and she's a badass and she's Asuka and she's a badass. Why the hell is she not on the main roster right now?
Because the main roster would die.
This is true. It would start with Alicia Fox and then Summer Rae and then Dana Brooke. Oh, wow, 3 women in one shot. Yeah, she would definitely kill on Monday Night Raw. If we put her on SmackDown, she might actually have a little more competition. Oh, no, that's not. In all fairness, Carmella would probably be killed in like 20 seconds, give or take. But enough about Asuka killing people because that's reality right now. Talking about the Fatal 4-Way elimination matchup for the number 1 contendership for the title at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Bobby Roode taking on Andrade Cien Almas, Ty Dillinger, as well as the one and only Roderick Strong. And we end on a glorious note in which Bobby Roode defeats all 3 members, and we'll be going to NXT TakeOver San Antonio, and we're getting Bobby Roode versus Nakamura. Bobby Roode versus Nakamura. Bobby Roode versus Nakamura. Bobby Roode versus Nakamura. I am literally screaming like a little girl in my head right now at the pure excitement that I'm getting out of that idea.
Right. Right? Oh my god. Bobby Roode. Not just any Bobby Roode. Glorious Bobby Roode versus the King of Strong Style. I mean, I don't even care who wins. I just want to see it. Why is that match not happening in front of me right now? I feel like this is a large disservice, and I don't know what I did to God to piss him off. That's not happening in front of me. Come on.
Oh god, we have to wait a whole month until we see this match. By then we're going to be by then we're going to be dead. It's just pure adulation. And you have to think about this major thing. The 2 of them, Nakamura and Bobby Roode, have probably the most over entrances in all of WWE. And I'm saying that in entirety of WWE today. Can you imagine the electricity of these 2 guys even before they're getting in the ring? Like one side singing, glorious domination, the other side singing Nakamura's theme. These fans are not going to have a voice to voice any sort of opinion after those 5 minutes of just glorious Nakamura, Bobby Roode entrances. Oh god, that is just my mind's. It's that's how I feel right now. It's awesome.
Right?
Good freaking god. So NXT TakeOver San Antonio. Why aren't you happening tomorrow? God dang it. I want to see this. I want to see this. I want to sing my heart out. I want to see this. I want to sing my heart out. I want to see this. I want to sing I'm in an infinite loop right now because this is going to be just as good as Avengers The Infinity War. This is going to be a war that can happen forever, and I will be happy. Oh God.
Oh, my God.
And this...
it's going to be amazing.
And this is what we would call a wrestling orgasm for anybody that knows Bobby Roode and Nakamura. This is going to be awesome. Honestly, I could continue doing this for the rest of the show, but we have to go into this next part, which is, of course, Lucha Underground. We had the 2 main matches being, of course, the Battle of the Bulls finals, as well as the Steel Cage match for the Lucha Underground Championship. Starting off with the Battle of the Bulls, the Mac taking on Jeremiah Crane and Cage and Mr. Oh, crap. How could I forget who the final... Oh, man. I'm trying to remember now who the final person was. I got my brain on Nakamura, Bobby Roode overload that I forgot who the final person was.
Well, way to go.
Oh, God. How could I forget? Oh, my gosh. See, Jeremiah Crane, Cage, the Mac, and oh my god, oh PJ Black. That's why. That is why. Jeez Louise.
Darewolf. How do you forget the Darewolf, man?
How do I forget Justin Gabriel? Easy, because Vince McMahon made me forget about him. Yeah. All in all, tremendous Fatal 4-Way matchup. And I called this last week. I said, how ironic is it that these two Fatal 4-Way elimination matches are happening at the same time? Now, I will give credit where credit's due. I think Lucha Underground had the advantage because they had this all taped months in advance. And the fact that, NXT had that taped a month in advance is like, does everybody even know how this kind of, what? How did this wrestling glory happen here? This was just amazing.
And I know there's probably a couple people out there, and I'll probably get called a hypocrite for this one. But a lot of people would probably say, oh, well, maybe since Lucha Underground had that set up months in advance, maybe NXT was cribbing from their playbook. And I'm just like, that's possible. It's literally a fatal 4-way match. They didn't do anything else with, taking a wholesale concept or rather unique image to the shark cage directly from another playbook, shark cage. So, they didn't do anything like that, so there's really nothing to complain about. And honestly, two fatal 4-way matches of this quality,
yeah, we got two for the price of one this past Wednesday. Two Fatal 4-Way elimination matchups, and both having winners that everybody will be very happy with, especially you, because the winner of the Fatal 4-Way and the Battle of the Bulls finals was the Mac.
Oh, yes! It's always good when the right man wins. If those of you who are new to the podcast, the Mac on Lucha Underground has also been known as Willie Mac. I've been following him for about 3-4 years through his work in the Indies. And if you haven't heard of Willie Mac or the Mac yet, that's okay. You're allowed to be stupid. Seriously, one of the best guys on the Indies. He's like every wrestling smart mark has that one indie guy where they're like, if this guy would just make it big, it would change everything. Well, I won't lie. The Mac is pretty much that guy for me.
Oh, man. Max Beattie, the Damian Sandow of the Squared Circle podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
There's just like my Squared Circle podcast heavyweight championship. That's another title I can wear with pride.
So the Mac defeats the three guys to advance. They're definitely going to continue the Tejano and Cage best of 5 series because why the hell not? I was kind of surprised to see Cage win the matchup, win the Fatal 4-Way matchup at all. I was thinking, well, there's going to be one of the other guys, but God forbid if it's, Tejano or Brian Cage, and then it happened. I'm like, oh, well, okay, this is going to be interesting. So Cage is probably going to get the opportunity without even have to win the frickin' best of 5. Tejano said, nope, you still got to deal with me. Okay, that's fine. Quite a few backstage segments. One, of course, being the celebratory deal between Sexy Star and the Mac. Loved every single bit about it. I definitely showed the mutual respect that the two of them had for each other, and the Mac even made the joke saying don't get all butthurt when I beat you for the title. And of course, she just smiles and says, "Hey, it'll still be an honor to fight you." So, and again, we see in a locker the legendary Spider there. I talked about this before, and I'm still at a loss of words of who could possibly be behind this whole thing with, because we found out that Sexy Star is not exactly a fan of spiders. So, any thoughts on who this person is and who's kind of trying to get under Sexy Star's skin?
My first immediate thought is to assume that they might be going back a little ways back to, the whole Marty and Mariposa thing. Like, maybe one of them has hired someone out to screw with her. Then again, maybe Katrina? I could have done the same thing. What I'm kind of hoping is that this is they're going to build up to a reveal with this guy. So what I'm kind of thinking is maybe it's going to be someone who's not already on the roster, but is going to have a level of popularity and a well-known enough name and face that when the reveal happens, that, yeah, there is that brief moment of, wait a minute, I've never seen this guy on the show before, who the hell is this? But then it's immediately replaced with, holy shit, they're on this show now! And then, they further the story. So, then again, I don't really have many clues to the outside, not kayfabe, the behind-the-scenes stuff, because I learned the hard way during Season 2. If you try to look up that stuff, it's nigh on impossible to avoid spoilers. Almost had the entirety of Ultima Lucha Dos spoiled for me. I only wound up getting the first couple matches spoiled for me, but God, after that, I don't look stuff up, so I'm kind of thinking it's going to be someone not on the roster already.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I know that, that when I first think of the Spider, the first thing I think about is Atera, a.k.a. Victoria, when she was in TNA. But I'm thinking that it's not her because I think she's kind of happy with where she's at right now. She retired from wrestling. She does her own, I think either pizza gallery or some kind of restaurant down in Chicago. So she seems very happy with where her life is at right now. So I think I do agree with you. I think that it's going to be somebody who is going to definitely possibly shake the foundation of the temple and make the believers probably, jizz themselves. And B will be somebody probably that we're familiar with, or somebody that we have not seen at all. We'll just have to kind of wait and see how that goes. I want to kind of know your thoughts on this because we will have this woman on the show in about a couple weeks now. Cobra Moon, the whole story behind her and Drago, trying to get Drago to return to the reptile tribe, and then these two massive behemoth people that she has as backup. Holy jeez Louise. I mean, they destroyed Aerostar, they destroyed Phoenix. Phoenix basically looked like he was dead after that beatdown. Kind of your thoughts on the storyline between Cobra Moon and Drago?
Well, I gotta say, when they first brought in Cobra Moon, and you remember that when she first came in and she was kind of like creeping on Daga, like, yeah, I want a piece of that pretty much kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like she was some sort of creepy, like, I don't know, Facebook stalker or something brought to life.
Right.
I was not a fan of that. I really hate saying this about Lucha Underground, but it kind of felt like something I would have seen on Monday Night Raw, and I do not mean that as a compliment. At this point, this whole idea of her trying to get him back into the tribe, back into the clan and all that I think is a lot more weight to it, because first off, you can easily connect that back to the storyline I didn't care for if you really wanted to and acknowledge continuity, which Lucha Underground is very good about, but it ties that then into the whole mythology of the show. It's just, I'm personally enjoying it, and I'm all for it. By all means, keep this one going. I want to see where it goes. In wrestling, that's pretty much one of the best things you can get out of a fan, is them going, I want to see where this goes. I want to see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how they do. And who knows, maybe we'll get some more insight in a couple weeks when we have Cobra Moon on the show. So, guys, be sure to tune into an episode of that. It's going to be a very interesting show. Usually I'm excited about these interviews. Honestly, I don't know too much about Cobra Moon. I know that on her her Twitter handle, she's known as Thunder Rosa. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this goes. So definitely, you guys, if you have your questions, send it to us, and we will ask them for you. But we got to go into the main event, which is the steel cage match for the Lucha Underground Championship. Johnny Mundo defending against Sexy Star. And again, this is another one of those matches where people do not give Sexy Star any credit. and wrongfully so, because she still looked like a badass out there, and she just